I just tell the truth, and telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. If you mix brilliance with bravery, that we can ignite something. Even this conversation alone can ignite the people.
The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Kelly. We're back with another video. If you are new to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're into things like true crime stories, news, and politics, then I think you would appreciate the content that we do. And if you are a returning listener or subscriber, thank you so much for being a friend as always, guys. I really do appreciate y'all, and if you could interact with the channel in any way, it really does help me out, and I thank you so much in advance. Like the video, give us a comment, whatever, check, you know, make sure you're still subscribed, whatever you can do, guys. I do appreciate y'all. So we're jumping back on here for another Weird News Weekly, guys. You know, these videos really do not do well on my channel for whatever reason. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're suppressed or what, or if people just don't like them. Regardless, you know, this is something that I'm interested in, is all of these, you know, different things that I bring to you guys each week, whether it be news or just funny things on Twitter. I enjoyed these videos, so I wanted to come on here and share because I hadn't been on doing these in the past week or two. So let's jump right into it, guys. Of course, without further ado, we're going to get into a song of the week, and I featured this song before, but this is a longer version. So, you know, I loved it so much that we just had to do it again, you know, so this is part 2.
And hunters in the basement with a silver spoon. The hookers and drugs, we're gonna be there soon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when. I'll be good and high by then, Dad. Yeah, I'll be good and high by then.
Picking through rugs, smoking anything that even remotely resembled crack cocaine.
I'm very proud of my son.
My son came around just the other day. He said, I got me a deal where we can both get paid. Can I trade on your name? I said, sure, okay. Will anyone know? He said, no, no way. And as he walked away, he looked kind of dim and said, I'm gonna be like him, yeah. You know I'm gonna be like him.
He's fixed it. He's worked on it.
And hunters in the basement with a silver spoon. Ukrainian brides, we're gonna be there soon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when. I'll put aside your 10%, Dad. And hunters in the basement with a silver.
Just great. Just, I mean, truly a masterpiece, if I had to say so myself. This comment, if STD had a face, I can't. Some of you people, I can't, okay? So, there's that. We've already, like I said, we've already featured this song, but it was so good. And in a close second, you know, was this old granny spitting some bars. So, let's get into this old lady and her epic, you know, freestyle.
Jack 3, Jack 4. How many jams do you pull? Jack 2, Jack 3, Jack 4. How many jams do you pull on the floor? Now they want you to take number 5. How long have you been alive?
Spitting, absolutely spitting. I don't know.
Maybe 12 months.
In 2023, ladies.
He said, ooh, spitting. I just, you know, sometimes this is what it's all about, guys. It's the smaller things in life, and you gotta appreciate them. You know, you really do. And this is a moment, you know, that two people connecting on different levels. So you gotta appreciate it, y'all. So let's get into some of these things without further ado. So this right here, okay, I was gonna do a video on this, but then I decided against it because, you know, I just didn't, I hate this story so much. The Montgomery Brawl, you know, whatever you want to call it, that fight that happened on the riverboat dock, whatever, in Montgomery, Alabama. Absolutely tragic on all aspects of it. It's just such trash behavior from all people involved, and then the reactions from people on what they call Black Twitter. were just abhorrent. People celebrating this, people acting like these people were heroes, the ones that came and like beat the fuck out of these white people. Just gross. And the white people who were like, you know, fighting the one guy, the dock worker, that was gross too. But it didn't elicit the type of reaction, in my opinion, that it got from like all of these black people who were not even involved in the initial situation. They were watching from afar and just with like a mob mentality ended up jumping on all of these people. It was absolutely disgusting. And I think that anyone celebrating it or acting like it's was this like great moment, like people were talking about like the way that people do like Civil War reenactments, like, you know, and I know it's all fun and, you know, it's all fun and games, it's all joking, but I don't know, it's gross to me. The whole situation was just absolutely disgusting. So I just didn't, I decided against it. But this right here was just an example of the type of reaction you would see on Twitter after this happened. And if you don't know about the story, guys, go look it up. I'm not, like I said, I don't want to get too far into it, but this man with titties right here, this fat ass, disgusting man with titties, said they must have seen the Montgomery brawl. They pulled up giving out ice cream. As if this is what white people now need to do. We need to, like, what, like, kowtow to black people anytime we see them and, like, you know, bribe them with ice cream so they don't beat us up. Okay, great way to bridge a gap.
Hi, thank you. Thank you.
And then this dude, like, it's just, the whole thing is so disgusting to me. The elevation of these race relations between black and white people in this country is so troubling and concerning to me because I don't feel that way. I don't want to get too far into it because it's such a touchy subject, and you feel like sometimes you can't even talk about things without like offending people or thinking that, you know, them thinking that you're racist just because you don't agree with like the narrative, but I don't. I'm sorry. But anyways, let's move on. So guys, Justin Trudeau. Okay, Justin Trudeau. We know who Justin. Yeah, he's sitting down. He was announced that he was getting divorced, and then these photos came out of him and Macron, the president of France. Yeah. So just do with these what you will. And somebody might say that these are taken out of context, or these are just shots that were like still frames from videos that are just totally innocent. Okay, yeah, well, I would point you in the direction of this video, which is not taken out of context right here. Okay, so you guys, y'all tell me, okay, about things being taken out of context. Okay, so yeah, there's Justin Trudeau. Sits while he pees, you know. Doesn't even know how to spread his legs whenever he's sitting down. He holds them together, pressed tightly, as if to protect his mangina. So, yeah, he's getting divorced, and that's just what I wanted to tell you guys, was this right here, okay? It's very important news we bring here, okay? So, this woman right here, you know, she snapped kind of, so I wanted to show you guys this.
And religiously motivating act of genocide that is targeted against our people to cause our people's harm. In the Genocide Convention, it specifically states, B means causing physical and mental harm to members of a specific group. So you're not going to argue with me that gang raping children is not going to cause them serious physical and mental harm. And the difference is there's been 1 million white children, 1 million white kids in the last few decades that have been raped by Muslim Pakistani men. It is targeted, and our community have a right to be angry. If it was any other country and any other peoples, they'd be burning down the homes and shoving them out the country. But because white people are so tolerant, so far all we've done is demos, but that will come to an end, and I assure you. And we don't involve ourselves in gratuitous violence and terrorism. We're white people. We desolate continents, we wipe out civilizations, and we start world wars. So far we've been tolerant, but you wait until that tolerance is gone. When the Anglo-Saxon no longer wishes to tolerate the rape, robbing and extortion and theft of our identity. What's going to happen?
From Germany or from Britain? They're originally Dukes and Saxons language from Germany.
The Anglo-Saxons are a mix of the Celts and the Saxons, all northern Western European white race people. We have no genetic difference in our composition. Europeans are all one brotherhood. Before that, there wasn't any black, browns or Asians or anything else living in Britain. In fact, in the 1950s, it was less than 0.3% in Britain were foreign.
Syria, so what was Europe then? But even the definition of the Even the concept of Europa, Europea, was different 1,000 years ago. The Romans included Northern Africa, they included parts of Syria. So there's been a heritage of change. The terms you're using, what is Europe, what is Britain, all this is constantly change. And people, human beings have been moving.
At all. Britain has been known as Britain and Great Britain since the Romans, right? Okay, we can say the same, right? So your home doesn't exist. It's been populated by lots of people. There's no such thing as Asians or Pakistanis, and it would be perfectly fine if we were to wipe you out. Let's take your lands, let's take your identity, let's rewrite your history so that you're not part of it, and make you not exist. You know why? Because nations and people are so interchangeable that it doesn't matter if we genocide an entire peoples, because we're all the same, right?
Katie Fannin, Bubba Kate versus the state.
Oh, so yeah, a lot of what you said there, I think, could be misinterpreted as being like hateful, or you might have an argument that oh well, Brits and other white people have been colonizing lands for hundreds of years or whatever, and that might be true, but you have to look at the scope of history and look at the way that history has worked, and this is what's happening now. So we might have colonized before in the past, but now does that make it okay to then now for us to be colonized and for us to be wiped out and pushed out of our land? I think that you can make an argument for fighting back against that, right? Because that is how history has worked throughout the past. It's been a struggle for land and territories and things of this nature, where one people might be trying to dominate another group of people, and those people either allow it to happen or they fight back. So the arguments of like this bullshit of like hateful, like she's being hateful or she's being racist or what, it's absolute trash. And I just think that it's so funny for people to make that argument because it shows your ignorance towards history. That's all I'm saying. And I think that what she said was actually very poignant. And it makes a good point in that, you cannot, if you want to just sit back and allow yourselves to be overtaken and your culture to be completely erased and wiped out, then that's on you. But if that's not something that you want, or that's not something that you feel like you want to allow and have happen to you, and you fight back, then what, you're just called a racist and then you're like whipped into submission? No, that's absolute bullshit. It wouldn't happen in any other country. You could never go to China and just try to overtake things. You can never go to any other country and try to change their culture and overtake their people and their lands without pushback. I'm sorry, that's just the case. So you can say what you want about that, but it's true. So here's another story. Some young kids, doing a prank. Egging prank ends with 1 dead and 3 charged with murder. So, this is out of Spalding County, Georgia. An egging prank gone wrong left 1 man dead and 3 teens charged with his murder. The Spalding County Sheriff's Office in Georgia said in a news release that units were initially called to the scene Monday for a man down. They found 1 shooting victim who was pronounced dead at the scene. He had no ID but was later identified as Jonathan Gilbert. After talking to witnesses, deputies started searching for the suspects, eventually tracking down the car and gun they say were used in the crime. They arrested an 18-year-old Sydney Mahone, 18-year-old Jeremy Munson, and 19-year-old Mackenzie Davenport. Further investigation revealed the incident started as an ongoing lovers' quarrel, the release states. The suspects reportedly decided to vandalize Gilbert's house by egging it. When he saw what they were doing, police say the victim came out of his home to confront them, unarmed. The teens ran back to the car as he approached them. That's when Mahone allegedly pulled a gun from the backseat and shot Gilbert multiple times. They left him in the driveway and fled the scene, according to the release. All 3 faced charges of murder, malice murder, battery, and criminal trespass. Mahone's battery charge is considered a crime of family violence. Mahone and Munson are also charged with aggravated assault and possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. Because they all plotted and planned together and traveled to the location with the intent to commit a crime that led up to the murder together, they are all culpable as if they had each pulled the trigger themselves. Together they bought that ticket, now together they can ride that ride. I love that saying. That's fantastic. So how tragic. I mean, way to throw away your life at age 18 and 19 by going and egging the house of a scorned lover or something, like a lover's quarrels, the way they put it, and then the guy comes out to you know, confront, which is what you're supposed to do if you have a situation and, you know, you see people doing something to you. Anybody would come out and confront and say, hey, what are you doing? Why are you here? Why are you vandalizing? Why are you trespassing? Whatever. And then to then pull out a gun and shoot that person dead in their own driveway, absolutely abhorrent behavior. And again, this is the youth of this country. This is how they act. You know, this is how their demeanor and their lack of accountability, their lack of being able to, like, see how their actions can cause irreparable damages. It's a major emergency in this country, because it's not something that seems like it's getting better. It's not something that it seems like is just a fleeting moment. It seems like it's getting worse. So, not good right here. So, okay, guys, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is, and I just want to warn y'all, this next thing is everything conspiracy related. I don't know what is going on with the situation, but it's a huge thing right now on Twitter. The Maui fires. Have you guys heard about these fires that were on this island? Okay, well, I first of all want to say, not one more fucking penny to Ukraine until Maui is made whole again. Can we just all agree to that? Can we just all say that? Because the fact that Joe Biden is still pushing for more money to Ukraine when he's already been caught laundering money out of that country, and nobody says a goddamn word about it, and I'm sorry to use the Lord's name in vain, it's so enraging to me. It really makes me want to go and throw myself off of a cliff, because what in the world is this country come to when we are so quick to send aid to a corrupt country and continue to allow a corrupt president to sit in the Oval Office while Maui, who is part of Hawaii, which is part of the United States of America, it is one of ours. It's 50th state. Like, hello, can we send our efforts there? Can we not focus on Ukraine while the entire of Maui has burned to the ground, and under very suspicious circumstances, it would appear? Okay, I just want to say that first of all, and if we can't all get behind that, then I don't know how we're going to continue together as a country. So let's get into some of these theories, guys.
The devastation to the island of Maui is unimaginable, but what's more unimaginable is what happens now. But don't worry, the billionaires have you covered, because coincidentally, for no reason at all, right before this happened, they had a conference speaking about how they could turn Maui into the sustainable city of the future, totally powered by renewable energy and off the grid. A lot of people are proposing that this is just the first step, a small-scale test of what they want to do. Some people are claiming that this was intentional, and even if it wasn't, it will be used as an opportunity. As a side note, if you've wondered what your neighborhood would look like after a nuke went off nearby, yeah, this is it. You know why it looks so similar to a massive raging fire? Because that's what most of the damage of the nuke is. There's a shock wave, but then the fires, they spread and spread and spread and burn up everything. And it would look just like this, so you have that for reference. You're going to need that here soon. But thanks to this massive wire fire, coincidentally, some of the most valuable land in the world is now yours for the taking for development if you got enough money. But also another question is, how many of these at a time can we handle before we can't be rebuilding everything all the time? A lot of people said that there's no reason to think the apocalypse is coming. Well, for the people of Maui, it's already here. But I think there's a beautiful dystopian future in store for the island, so it's not over yet. So if you're rich, good for you, I guess. But too bad for the rest of us.
Oh my gosh.
The truck. Island Catering.
Okay. The island is primarily comprised of two volcanoes. You got Haleakala over here, up to 10,000 feet. And you got the West Maui Mountains, Kahalavai, over here, which goes up to almost 6,000 feet. And there is one road around the island, goes up country here through Kula, which is also on fire. And you got one road around the head, and it's really hairy there on the backside, 20 miles per hour, hundreds of feet drop, no shoulder. And you got one road around the backside of the island too, and it's very hairy there. So most of the traffic goes this way. And over here there's Lahaina, and beyond that is Ka'anapali, Napili, Kapalua, big tourist destination out there. And then the other one is over here is Kihei, and there is also a fire burning in this area. So everybody's on high alert right now. And I don't know how much you've heard, but it is really fucking bad in Lahaina. And that road is going to be closed for quite some time. So all those hotels out there, they're virtually inaccessible. But you got people stuck there, workers, who live on the other side of the island and can't get home. And that's hundreds, if not thousands. Then you got people on this side of the island, stuck, who can't get home, who might not even have a home to get back to, who might not have jobs to get back to. And it's not just the people, because when you live on an island that has been forced into a tourism economy, you are not food secure. Nearly everything comes from somewhere else. And those supplies are much harder to distribute in situations like these. And so all the outlying towns like Hana and islands like Lanai are also struggling. I can tell you that the ferry burned, so everything is harder right now. Everything is harder. I beg of you, I implore you, please redirect your passion and vehemence away from the people of these islands who are begging you to do the right thing, and direct it at the airlines and the hotels and the rich celebrities who live in these islands and the government. Thank you very much.
So, absolutely tragic situation out of Maui. I don't know what to think, honestly, because, not only are they affected in the moment by these horrific fires, which they're calling wildfires, which again, I don't know what happened. There's just a lot of speculation, and, people are pointing out different things about how the fires were burning, how only certain areas had actually caught fire, and, I don't know. Oh my God. Breaking: Hawaii changes name to Ukraine to receive faster aid from the government. That is absolutely sad, but it's so true. But it's just, not only are they affected because of that, but now they're going to be affected because of, like he was just saying, the supply chain crisis that is happening there now because of, this kind of devastation. You know how long it's going to take to clear all this out? And to just, take a step back and gain their footing. And people are there without food, without water, without a place to shower or relieve themselves. It's just, the devastation is incomprehensible at this point, and it's just a very tragic situation, regardless of how it started or whatever the case may be. So let's see what this is. News outlets are underselling it by calling it a brush fire. A whole town is gone. Hundreds are dead. The reports of death count are extremely inaccurate. People on the ground are reporting hundreds of bodies in cars and in the ocean. Pray for Lahaina. And then you see, amongst, the devastation, there's, houses here and there that are, untouched. It's insane to me. I don't know. You guys, y'all let me know, because I've never had to even be close to, any sort of fire, wildfire, or whatever the case may be. So, I don't know, but it's horrendous. So here's what I really want to show you guys. Okay, people were talking about the way that these fires were burning, and how you could see, they're almost burning in perfect circles, deliberate is what it looks like. And this is a good point, in my opinion. I cannot account for this. So what do you guys think about this? And how you see like all of the little like scatterings of, it looks like these are all the properties that are on fire, and then in the middle, or like around surrounding, where there's like massive you know, amounts of vegetation and things of that nature is left untouched. What is the reason for that? People were calling it like the Ring of Fire because it looked like, yeah, the entire island was encircled. And this right here is crazy. Look at that. A perfect oval of fires. What the hell is that? So strange to me. So I don't know what to make of it. I really don't.
A massive fire took the lives of 36 people in Hawaii. The weirdest part is that the cause of the fire is still unknown. This is what Maui looked like before the fire, and this is what it looks like now. Millions of dollars of damage has been dealt to Maui, and thousands of acres of land are now scorched. Why wasn't this better prevented? Firefighters so far cannot tell what exactly started the fire. Some believe that the fires are natural wildfires brought on by the dry season.
Yeah.
Others think it's caused by a recent hurricane, and some speculate there was foul play involved. Currently, there is little evidence of anything to make any determination. Whatever the reason, authorities estimate that hundreds of people are still trapped. The Biden administration has ordered all emergency aid be provided to the island and to give federal support as quickly as possible. 14 people have already been rescued from the flames by search and rescue teams working around the clock. Wildfires are very common in Hawaii, but this one caught a lot of people off guard. Preparations weren't made beforehand, and that resulted in the high death toll. Many parts of the world are experiencing massive wildfires this summer due to the dryness and high temperatures.
How do you prepare for that?
Evacuation centers are jam-packed, and people can be seen sleeping on the floors. Historical sites that have existed for centuries are now completely destroyed. The Maui community is reeling from this tragedy.
So I don't know how you prepare for something like this. I mean, it's just, it seems next level to me. So I don't know. Again, y'all let me know in the comments, because these are all just conspiracies. These are all just things that I'm seeing on Twitter.
So
a lot of people are talking about this and, you know, commenting on what the cause may be. This one thing is ultra major conspiracy. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I do believe this or don't believe this. I'm just bringing it to you guys. Y'all do your own research and y'all let me know in the comments. But this made sense. Okay, so let me see.
Unusual sight captured on camera. Japanese and local astronomers say a Chinese satellite was recently seen beaming down green lasers over the islands. This video captured atop the Subaru telescope on Mauna Kea, operated by the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan. Bryce Moore has the story.
The lasers flash for just a couple seconds. Initially thought to be from a NASA altimeter satellite, the Japanese put out a correction note on Monday saying NASA scientists found a most likely candidate as the ACDL instrument by the Chinese Daki-1 AEMS satellite. I went to a University of Hawaii astronomer who read up on AEMS instruments.
It's a Chinese satellite that is measuring pollutants, among other things. It has many different instruments on it. Some kind of topographical.
Unusual sight captured on camera.
So, could this have been some sort of attack on the United States? I don't know. Listen, that is total conspiracy. I have nothing to back that up. It wouldn't be the first time that something like this has happened. I'm thinking of the when Israel attacked one of our ships back in like the 1960s. When was it? Or I think, yeah, it was somewhere in the 1960s, and then the U.S. basically covered the whole thing up as, you know, nothing to see here. And we continue to have this like perfect relationship with Israel from this moment on. Yeah, wouldn't be the first time is all I'm saying. And I don't know, a lot of people are blaming this on the U.S. government, saying that they were the ones that started the fires with these like systems that the U.S. government is known to have, these like weather systems where you can basically create whatever weather you want. And that's fact. That is actual fact. So who knows at this point? Will we ever know? It's unclear. I don't know. It could be natural. It could be a psyop. It could be an attack. Will they ever tell us? Probably not. But I want to know what you guys think, because at the end of the day, it's tragic no matter what happened here. And I think the most important thing right now that we can all say definitively is that Ukraine should not get a single red cent of American money until all of Maui is made whole. Okay, and anything is rebuilt there and given back to the people who rightfully owned it before, and not just sold off to the government because people can't afford to rebuild back there. It's absolutely freaking ridiculous, okay? No more. So, I don't know. Y'all, I'm going to move on because, again, I have no other, like, point of experience to say anything about these sorts of events, these fires. Like, I know nothing about it. So, I want to know what you guys know and think. So, okay, this will hopefully bring us back up to a little bit better mood, even though you could kind of say that it's a black and a white pill at the same time. But let's look at this video. A man pets a dog before stealing a bike in Pacific Beach, okay? This was funny. This was wholesome. It's kind of sad. Like I said, it's a black pill and a white pill at the same time. So let's just get into it, guys. Okay. Lovely. First of all, this door is open. Where are the freaking owners? There's all these bikes in the garage. I don't see a car, so I don't know where these people went, where they left their, like, garage door open. What's going on here? But apparently, this guy comes in. This is just so funny. This is, like, indicative a lot of times of, like, these like white criminals, literally. Like, this is how they act. Okay, look at this guy.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, buddy. He's gonna stop for a second.
Alright. Because you're so cool. Come here. Because you're the coolest dog I've ever known. I love you too. You're a sweetheart. Oh, you can hold me. Where's your dad? Your dad should know not to leave your garage
Oh my god, you can't even be mad at the guy. I mean, you can't even be, you know, what a world we're living in, right? I mean, you get robbed and your dog doesn't do a damn thing about it, you know? Great job. Great job. It seems like, I don't know, like, did he know this dog? He seemed like you're the coolest guy I've ever met in the world. Like, that's a bold statement for a stranger dog you just met, you know? Like, there's not too many dogs I've met on the street that I would tell that to, right? I mean, my dogs are the coolest guys that I've ever known. So, I don't know. But either way, it was wholesome, but it was at the same time, you know, a wholesome gut punch. But, you know, can you really be mad? I don't know. Y'all let me know. So, let's move on. This right here really pissed me off, okay? A man was killed by the FBI for online threats against President Biden. And this is what we all have to look forward to, guys. Is them coming to kill you because they don't like what you say on the internet.
And the family of the man killed by the FBI after allegedly posting threats against President Joe Biden on social media are speaking out, claiming he would not have acted on the threats. 74-year-old Craig Robertson was killed as the FBI attempted to serve a warrant to his home in Utah on Wednesday. The warrant claims Robertson made direct threats to President Biden's life. In a lengthy statement posted on Facebook, the Robertson family wrote, quote, as an elderly and largely homebound man, there was very little he could do but exercise his First Amendment right to free speech. And he's never and would never commit any act of violence against another human being over a political or philosophical disagreement.
There's a new video this evening of the deadly confrontation between FBI agents and a Utah man who had allegedly threatened to kill President Biden. Peter Alexander has that story.
This video was taken during the deadly confrontation FBI agents seen surrounding the home of suspect Craig Robertson, who's not visible in the footage, when suddenly
the SWAT team went through his back door with a battering ram. They called for my neighbor to come out, and he's like, I'm not coming out.
The FBI had arrived at Robertson's Provo, Utah home Wednesday morning to serve an arrest warrant for his alleged threats to assassinate President Biden.
Ridiculous.
Court records show a social media company first alerted the FBI in March about a disturbing post by Robertson.
Oh, which one?
Tonight, a senior law enforcement official tells
Which
NBC News that company is Truth Social.
Bullshit.
The site founded by former President Trump. The FBI says Robertson identified himself online as a MAGA Trumper and called one of his rivals a Democrat eradicator. The FBI says for months it had been tracking the 75-year-old and his violent threats about the president, Vice President Kamala Harris, and other prominent Democrats, including Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, who's prosecuting a criminal case against Mr. Trump. In a recent post, Robertson noted that Biden is coming to Utah and referred to cleaning the dust off his sniper rifle. President Biden in Salt Lake City today, where he praised his and his family's security detail.
My daughter has Secret Service, and, you know, it's just wonderful.
She needs Secret Service from you fucking pedophile.
Late tonight, a senior law enforcement official tells me Robertson was armed when FBI agents...
Let's not forget that Joe Biden had awkward and uncomfortable showers with his daughter, per her very own diary.
...confronted him, then he pointed his weapon at them and did not respond to commands before agents shot and killed him.
Well, you know, you are entering the man's home and threatening him, surrounding his home, and acting like the damn SWAT team when he never even committed a crime. Okay, saying stuff online is not, last time I checked, a crime. Did he make any credible, actual direct threats? People say shit all the time. I don't recall anybody being arrested for threatening the life of Donald Trump throughout his entire presidency. Like when Kathy Griffin reenacted cutting his head off, or Madonna made a threat or a claim of blowing up the White House while Donald Trump was living there. Yeah, you don't see any of that, or any of the other countless nameless, faceless people on Twitter who were threatening the life of Donald Trump and others. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Our FBI is totally out of control and outrageous. And I think that the fact that they did this is so telling of what is to come, and it really is a scary world that we're living in. And I read that, you know, he had been making these posts online for years. Like, he had never actually acted on anything. He had always been this type of radical, you know, boomer, basically, who was posting online about his disdain for the Democrat Party and these politicians. But they chose now to act on them and to think that this 74-year-old man was going to go, it's going to be a geriatric fight for all ages, where he's going to go and try to kill President Biden. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the fact that they could not have taken this man in, peacefully, why not, why execute a SWAT warrant on this man's home instead of getting in contact with him and trying to surrender himself peacefully for questioning? I mean, this is so outrageous, and people don't think anything of it. I feel like the only time a SWAT warrant and a SWAT team should be activated on someone's home is in the case of they've committed murder, okay? And you have to apprehend them right then and there without their previous warning. Otherwise, why not try to activate, some sort of peace agreement and some sort of peaceful surrendering, and do everything you have to do up and until going and breaking into their home at 6 o'clock in the morning, probably scaring the shit out of this man to the point where you are basically, you're prompting a fight. You are prompting this response out of this man, and then you try to pat yourselves on the back like you guys did the right thing by going and killing this man in his home for posting on Facebook, okay? Or whatever. They tried to say it was Truth Social that turned him in. I call fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. I do. But even if they did, whatever. That's totally fucked up and wrong. But it would be messed up for any social media company to go and snitch to the FBI. But I guess they are working hand in hand these days. So really seems like a symbiotic relationship at the end of the day. So, did the FBI do the right thing, analyzing the raid that killed a man who threatened President Biden? Okay, criticism of the FBI's killing of Utah man who has made death threats against President Joe Biden on social media quickly made its way through far-right circles, with some calling it an assassination. I mean, what a way to go, though. On another note, I mean, I'm just going to say, kind of what a way to go. I mean, if you're going to be this far-right militant poster on social media, I mean, why not get taken out by the FBI and blaze of glory? Not saying that it's right. Obviously, I'm being tongue-in-cheek there, because it is wrong on all accounts. But I'm just saying, my God, This is what we have to look forward to. The FBI coming with a battering ram into your house because they don't like what you posted about old pedophile Biden. Okay, great. So, the First Amendment only goes so far. Not all speech is protected, and he crossed a line. It says Carl Schmay. Schmay? Okay, yeah, great name. A retired FBI supervisor and special agent who worked in the FBI's Salt Lake City division for much of his 22-year of service, including as a supervisor of the Domestic Terrorism Squad and 10 years on the SWAT team. The Domestic Terrorism Squad. Yeah, great. Glad to see y'all are doing a good job. The Federal Department of Investigation, yeah, they're investigating you. They're not investigating the threats, that are coming from the outside. So, early Wednesday morning, FBI agents went to Craig D. Robertson's home in Provo to serve arrest and search warrants. Robertson had been under FBI surveillance for a number of months for making violent threats on social media against Biden and other top Democrats, including one Monday that said, "I hear Biden is coming to Utah, digging out my old Geel suit and cleaning the dust off the M24 sniper rifle. Welcome, buffoon-in-chief." He sounds like a funny guy. Robertson, who in his online bio said he is an advocate and owner of many AR rifles and other guns, also made threats to FBI agents if they showed up at his house. He was reportedly armed when agents arrived on his porch. The FBI has still not released information about what led to the shooting. Of course they haven't. And here's the guy right here. Will Craig Robertson become a martyr? Yep, I can already answer you that. He is, and the FBI was not justified in my opinion. Okay, so I don't know. What do y'all think about all of this? I will link this article if you guys want to read more into it. I don't want to get too far into the weeds with this because, my stance might not be popular, but I think that the FBI was dead-ass wrong. And like I said, if they wanted to question this man, if they wanted to execute a search warrant on this 70-something-year-old man, they should have notified him in advance or come in daylight, maybe did a knock warrant, instead of a no-knock SWAT team raid on his house at 6 in the morning. Absolutely freaking ridiculous, okay? In my opinion. But what are you guys' opinion? Let's get into this newest Snow White, who's not white. She's a Mexican or something. I don't know. She's a woman of color.
Oh yeah, the bitch.
And she has been online bashing the original Snow White film, and she's really been pissing me off with this whole attitude that she's had as of late. So let's listen to her comments about her role as this new Snow White, where she should have never been casted, in my honest opinion. But now that she has been, she's been single-handedly destroying the efforts of Disney and this studio to release this movie in a successful manner. So let's watch.
I mean, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story.
Yeah.
With a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah. Weird. Girl, don't you just want to I mean, what a punchable face that is. I'm sorry, Snow White is focused on her love story, and it's weird because the prince, mind you, was stalking this woman. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Okay, I'm sorry. So she's basically saying if you're a woman and you are seeking love, okay, or your goal in life is to find a husband to marry, and you're a man who pursues a woman in a forceful or even an assertive way, that you're weird. Okay, no ma'am, no girl, you've got it twisted. She just was not right for this role. If you hate Snow White, the movie, maybe don't become Snow White, and then proceed to shit on a beloved movie that was and still is an epic film that has stood the test of time, been remade a number of times over and over again. And maybe just go sit down somewhere, lady, because your feminism, your weird feminism and your disdain for men and the movie Snow White and women who seek to find love is really oozing prejudice right now.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no Prince or a different kind of Prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because like we cast a guy in the movie, Andrew Burnap, great dude. Yeah. It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. I mean...
Wow, is that a third? Andrew, can we get Andrew to the front? Did she just threaten your role in the movie? Because what a bitch. Okay, I'm sorry, but like, somebody come get this woman. I just don't know who Disney thought that they were hiring. Somebody said go woke, go broke. Disney should issue a gag order, and they really should, because she's been running her mouth and it's not been good at all for this movie. So somebody said Snow White and the 7 pronouns. I can't. Sometimes the comment section is in an absolute shambles. So this is another thing that happened in the UK, okay? I don't know if you guys have seen this, but people over there are getting arrested for calling people lesbians, okay? Let's watch this.
She's made a comment in her own house. You've got her on camera. She hasn't said anything to you. Don't matter. She never got matter. She's getting arrested. She's getting arrested. Why are you doing?
By the way, you do look like a lesbian, a hyper lesbian. You look like you eat vagina morning, noon, and night, lady. So, you know, if the shoe fits, why don't you wear it on your lesbian Birkenstock feet, you know?
It's coming, don't worry. She hasn't done anything. She's autistic. I don't care. She's autistic, I know you don't care. I'm telling you, I've got Eunice coming. She's going to be arrested tonight. And wait till the police officer's coming. I'll like explain what happened. If I get put
that's why we got her on the first place.
You big fucking bitch, what me if I get put on me. Just calm down. She's autistic. Can you stop staring at her, please? She's got autism. Can you just stand there? She's in a cupboard. She can't go anywhere. She can't go anywhere. Stand there, dear. They're going to remove her for what? With your woman. Think she said the word lesbian. Her nana is a lesbian. She's married to a woman. She's not homophobic. Look what you're clenching your fist. Go away from my teenage daughter.
What is up with you?
There is something wrong with you, mate. She didn't aim it at the police officer.
It's not homophobic remarks at my colleagues.
It's not a homophobic remark. She said, I think she's a lesbian like Nana.
She called. If you want to bully people, you just get one of them badges there. That's what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Where'd it go? Where's this? Does it go to right under there?
She's autistic. She don't like people touching her.
Well,
she will have a meltdown. She won't come out. She's got autism. I'm Lisa.
I'm sorry. This is absolutely... I mean, this is disgusting from all parties involved. That lesbian, first of all, they got offended because someone called her a lesbian. She should be fired. She should be shamed. All of these police officers that are taking part in this, it needed to be a group of over 7 individuals to come and arrest a young teenage girl for calling someone a lesbian in the UK when there is so much crime and horrible things happening out there all over the world, really, but specifically in the UK. I'm sure there's more important things that you guys need to be taking care of, and you guys come and arrest a girl for saying and calling someone a lesbian. I don't care what context it was in, but this is scary, especially when you can't even fault the girl because she looks like a damn lesbian. Okay, I'm sorry. And then the parents, like, you know, they're doing all that they can, but you would have had to, I'm sorry, you would have had to burn down the home to get to my child. If this is what you're coming to arrest her for, you would have had to taken all of us out, you know, like on a stretcher, because absolutely not will I be allowing you to take my teenage daughter for stating the obvious. It's ridiculous. So what they ended up doing was dragging her out of that cupboard and arresting her for saying a word, okay, that was absolutely true. So again, just want to shame this woman here, right there. Lesbian of the Year award. Yep, there she is.
She's the worst. She's the worst person in the world.
So yeah, if anyone knows this woman, you know, yeah, you guys know what to do. What a joke. What a joke of a person. Gets so offended by a young autistic girl saying words to them. This is what the world's coming to. So Dennis Prager, okay? If you guys are in the conservative sphere, if you watch conservative media, I'm sure you know who Dennis Prager is. Well, he is, you know, get him out of here. Get him the fuck out of here, because he said the following, guys. Let's just see what disgusting old man Dennis Prager had to say about child animated porn and whether or not it's okay.
Would you use the word evil of animated child pornography? Because I certainly would.
No, I would use evil only with behavior. That's where we might differ, forgetting the sex issue. You can't be evil. You didn't do evil if you thought evil. You did evil
if I'm
if you
masturbating
committed.
to animated pictures of pornography, I'm not doing something evil.
That's correct.
Yeah, I think that's despicable. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, of course.
Really?
Would you use the word?
Just like a fucking idiot, you know? So Dennis Prager thinks it's okay for you to watch animated child porn, and it's not wrong. He wouldn't condemn it in his book. So despicable is the correct word for him. Yeah, gross. Absolutely disgusting. Dennis Prager should be canceled for that. That's, I mean, abhorrent. And he's supposed to be a conservative, and he's got this whole shtick where I feel like he tries to, like, you know, defend an extreme position, the same way that, like, people are caught, like, saying, you know, like, trans women can have women can have penises because, you know, there's trans people who dress up like ladies but who have dicks. It's like, you're defending a position that's so extreme just for the sake of it. And so he's trying to do this thing where I feel like it came to this, and he might have, like, you know, misspoke or spoke out of turn, because he's trying to defend a position of, I only think that you're evil if you do an act, not if you think about an act, or because you can't help the thoughts that run through your head, which that's fine. But at the end of the day, can we not just all save the children and get behind the children and say that, you know, anything child and sex related is just absolutely, you know, across the board wrong? If not, then yeah, Dennis Prager, you need to go. So thanks for playing, but goodbye. So here's Antifa getting owned by a Prius. No news here, guys. Just wanted to share it with y'all again. Watch this one right here. Watch this one here. So good. And again, if you're in the road, guess what? Cars live there. Cars exist there, and they have the right of way there. So you better get out the way.
Arrest them! Arrest them! He fucking ran over people! Arrest them!
He ran over people? All I saw was somebody trying to rip his windshield wiper off of his car and getting shoved off to the side a little bit. Nobody ran over anybody.
Driving at people! They just ran over people! You saw that shit! What the fuck is this? You're gonna let her drive away? Are you kidding me? You'll run over peaceful protesters and the cops are gonna let him drive back.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You saw that shit!
That's right. He can go. He's free to go. He's free to go.
What's your name, officer? You just watched an innocent person get ran over, and this man's filming, and you're not gonna arrest him, you're not even gonna chase him. Yeah, call someone on your fucking call. Use your walkie-talkie.
Don't tell me what to do. Absolutely not. I will not be calling anything in. This seems like everything's above board here. So, yeah, that's the way of the world, my guy. You know, you stand in the street, you're gonna F around and find out. So, sorry to tell you that. So guys, I just wanted to say, if you have not seen this guy, Oliver Anthony, people have been talking left and right about this guy. Some people on the right have been calling him, like, you know, a psyop, or somebody who's like pandering, or somebody who is just, you know, whatever. People have been talking shit because of his absolutely meteoric rise in with this song that he released. But I don't care. You know, the song is great. His voice is great. He deserves, in my opinion, the accolades because of the song. And, you know, everyone has a past. Can we not just have something good? Like, for once, do we have to, like, you know, when somebody has some sort of, you know, rise into stardom, or some sort of rise into the spotlight, can we not for 1 second just try to find out every little thing about their past, to try to pick them apart and see, why did they come up? Where did they come from? What had they done? Like, what had they done bad? It's like, just shut the fuck up and enjoy the song. But if you guys haven't heard it, I want to play a little snippet of it for you guys. If you can, or if you do like it, go ahead and give it a stream, give it a play. Let's just not worry about where this guy came from for 1 freaking second, because the message of the song is good, and I think that it is actually a very excellently sung and produced song. So like, can we not just enjoy it for 1 second? Let's hear it. Just a little snippy snip.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men, the rich men.
So absolutely epic. Like, I love this song. I have been playing it every day since I heard it. I don't really care where this man came from. I think that he's a genuine person. Go follow him on social media. He just joined Twitter. You know, whatever. Can we not just have anything for 1 freaking second, y'all? That's all I have to say about that. So let me know what you guys think of this song, and yeah, like the video if you liked it, guys. I really do appreciate everything, and let me know what you think about the stories about Maui, what's going on there, the guy who got raided by the FBI. I would love to know your thoughts on all of it. So yeah, guys, I hope to see and hear from y'all soon, and until next time, I will see y'all later. Bye.
I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down.